Highway Patrol is starting now to reopen Interstate 880 after protesters shut it down. Here's a live picture from News Chopper 2. Now, the problems all started when a group of protesters essentially marched onto the highway, bringing the evening commute to a screeching halt. Then police began to move in, and there was late word that a protester jumped from an elevated part of the freeway, falling onto the city street below. As you can see, traffic is starting to move now in both directions, but this created a massive traffic jam stretching for miles in both directions here on Interstate 880, all resulting from this day of action, a massive protest here against education cuts. We want to get the latest on the traffic situation. Let's join now KTVU's Sal Castaneda in the traffic center for the very latest on this. Sal?
Well, Julie, I want to go right back to News Chopper 2 because I want to show you that on the left there, News Chopper 2 is looking at the Jackson Street off-ramp from 980. And that's where people come down. In fact, that's the way many of us who work at KTVU, they take that off-ramp. That off-ramp is closed right now. That's where they're detaining the protesters that were once on the freeway, 880 at Broadway. So you can see the traffic is still slowing down because there are a lot of people there on the side of the road, and people are looking at that. Traffic is backed up all the way up to the maze from southbound 880, and northbound is backed up at least as far as the Coliseum, although the lanes are open. If you're driving in from Highway 24, this will affect you as well. So we have a lot of slow traffic, but the lanes are open. The lanes are open now on 880 at Broadway. We want to show you some video from earlier. These are people who were on the freeway and were detained. They went off, about 150 or so of them came up onto the freeway, and at one point the lanes were closed in both directions. You can see that no traffic was getting by. This happened about an hour ago now, and they were on the freeway for a good 30 to 45 minutes, and you can imagine what that did to traffic. And of course, you heard that one of the people who was up on the freeway apparently jumped. So we do have video from one of our crews of officers arresting some of these people. They did call in for more reinforcements. So these people were herded up, and they are now being detained. You can see that they did not go peacefully. A lot of these people were at a protest earlier in Oakland, and a heavy police presence. They had to come in and get these people off the freeway. We did have one of our crews there capturing this video. So as of right now, some of these people have been detained. They're out there on the Jackson Street off-ramp, and that's where the situation stands right now. So the traffic, as you might imagine, is a mess in both directions, even though most of the lanes are open. Let's go back to the desk now.
Complete Bay Area news coverage starts right now. This is Bay Area News at 7.
Good evening. It's Thursday, March 4th. I'm Gassia Michaeli, and this is Bay Area News at 7. Demonstrators shut down a busy Bay Area freeway this evening as a day of action to protest cuts to education. It brought rush hour traffic to a standstill for almost a full hour. Just before 5 p.m., a group of about 125 protesters made its way onto Interstate 880 in downtown Oakland, right near Jackson Street, where Interstate 980 ramps into the heart of Oakland. Traffic was stopped in both directions, and police had to come in, make arrests, and break up the massive disruption to the evening commute. Our Mike Meback is at the scene. He joins us live tonight with the latest. Mike?
Well, Garcia, the peaceful rally outside City Hall ended just about 4 o'clock, and then all of a sudden a group of more than 100 people splintered off and started marching through the streets of downtown Oakland. Our cameras are right there with them for a good 45 minutes, and then all of a sudden at about 11th and Castro, that group of more than 100 jumped onto Interstate 980, hopping over fences to get there. They started heading towards the interchange, and when I mean the interchange, I'm talking about that northbound 880 direction, folks who are on that trying to get to 980, that interchange. They started running against oncoming traffic, stopping traffic at times. Some people on foot, some people were on bicycles. Traffic stopped for a good hour. Police also on foot made their way onto the interchange and basically cornered them in. Some from the north, and then patrol cars came on to 880 driving northbound and cornered them in from the south, and they were basically pinned those people. Oakland spokesperson Jeff Thomason takes it from there.
There was a group of about 100, 150 individuals that splintered off from the peaceful side and had a hidden agenda and wanted to disrupt traffic on the freeway. We didn't have to move in and make arrests. They forced our hand and made arrests. And so we're trying to gather those individuals and get them off the freeway in a peaceful manner. Right now, traffic is starting to move slowly.
Thomason went on to say that one of the individuals who made his way onto the interchange actually jumped, trying to avoid police. That person is now listed in critical condition. In all, at least 150 people have been arrested. They are currently being processed. Most likely all will face misdemeanor charges. Reporting live tonight here in Oakland, Mike Meeback, KTVU Channel 2 News.
Now, we saw some of it there thanks to Mike, but take a closer look at what rush hour drivers faced. Traffic snarled for miles in both directions on Interstate 880, but motorists remained calm and for the most part laid off their horns. You can see many got out of their cars or used cell phones to try to figure out what was causing this massive backup. Some even stood on the roof of their vehicle to get a better vantage point.